Yo, what's going on, y'all? Mike here, Sports and Rush. Welcome back to another episode of our Countdown NFL Best to Wear Jersey. I know I say that backwards every time, but essentially we're just counting down the best players to wear NFL jerseys 30 through 1. And we're doing that because we were 30 days away from the NFL season starting, and now we're 26. So today, we're doing jersey number 26. The best players award jersey number 26 in the NFL. Y'all ready? All right, let's hit it. First off, want to give a shout out to this guy. Wasn't flashy, wasn't a Hall of Famer. His kid is playing in the NFL right now. Antoine Winfield. You guys know Antoine Winfield Jr. He played 5 seasons with the Bills. That's where I got to know him the best because in the NFC East, they played the Dolphins a lot, and he was just a dog. But he played 14 years total, 5 with the Bills, now with the Minnesota Vikings. 3-time Pro Bowler, 27 picks, 2 touchdowns for his career, 14 forced fumbles, 11 fumble recoveries as a cornerback. Really tough dude, like I said, kind of a bulldog corner in your face, wasn't backing down. Really liked his style, caused a lot of headache for Miami Dolphin receivers. So shout out to Antoine Winfield, solid career, representing the number 26 well. Next on the list is Clinton Portis. 9 years total, 2 with Denver, 7 in Washington. He ends up getting traded to Washington for Champ Bailey in 2004. 2-time Pro Bowler, 2002 Offensive Player of the Year. 9,923 yards total, 75 total touchdowns, 2,000 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. Really, really good player. Clinton Portis actually like another dude that was like quick and fast and strong. Like he was that guy, man. And injuries kind of, caught up to him like they do all the running backs just about. Most of them don't escape the injury bug. But he was just, his earlier years especially, like, were really, really good. He was that dude. And he represented that jersey number well. I remember specifically, I think it was his rookie year in Denver, where he put this nasty shake and bake on 2 dudes at the same time to go score a long touchdown with the Broncos. That was like one of the nastier moves I've ever seen. So shout out to Clinton Portis, man. Great career. UN product for sure. Next player on the list, Le'Veon Bell, who really would have been a Hall of Famer to me had his career then, go sideways. So 8 years total, 5 in Pittsburgh. And those early years, I mean, he was on track to being like one of the GOATs, man. He could run, he could catch, like Marshall Faulk style. Like he could do everything, and he presented a problem for defenses. But he ends up holding out for more money. Things don't play out right. He sits out a year, and he ends up going to the Jets, and the Jets have Adam Gase as their coach, and he's a offensive player killer, if you ask me, as a Dolphins fan. I know good and well. And that was pretty much the end of his career. He had 2 pretty much garbo years with the Jets. And then he gets, kind of bounced around as a free agent, and it never worked out. But his style, he was patient. Like, he was distinct in his style. Like, there was no one else who did it like him. Like, he didn't just run into the hole, like, press the hole. Like, he just sat back there, danced around. And then when things opened up, he ran right through it. But again, great runner, great hands. 6,500 total yards rushing, 42 touchdowns, 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. But again, that missed year in that contract situation with Pittsburgh kind of messed it up, because had he stayed with Pittsburgh for any extended period of time, he would have put together like 9-10 years of like 1,000-yard seasons rushing, 7-8, 100 yards receiving, and like just flat out balling. But shout out to Le'Veon. Still represented number 26 well. Another one who represented 26 well, some of you might remember this if you've been watching football for a while, is Robert Smith. He actually started off his rookie season. I saw this. His rookie season with Minnesota, he started off as number 20. And then he switched the following year to number 26. But 8 years with Minnesota, he played on those teams with Randy Moss and Chris Carter and Dante Culpepper. Really good teams that put up a lot of stats offensively. 2-time Pro Bowler. 6,800 total rushing yards, 32 touchdowns. His peak was in 2000. So in 2000, this dude ran for 1,521 yards, 1521, 7 touchdowns, had 36 receptions, 348 yards. Made the Pro Bowl, and then he retired. He said, I'm out. After his peak, how many dudes do that? Like, at the top of his game, no injuries really, he's out. But what I remember hearing was that during his playing days was that he actually like wanted to study medicine and be a doctor. I don't know what the deal was with that. But I guess he was smart enough to quit while he was ahead. No injuries, no concussion, history of concussion, CTE risk, and nothing like that. He said, look, I made my money, I made my name. My game was good, I balled out, and I'm done. I gave it what I had, and I'm done. And I feel like, honestly, a lot of cats should copy that model. Make your money, do what you got to do, and then get out before this game kills you, man. But some cats love it, and they'll play till it falls off. But shout out to Robert Smith, great number 26, represented well. I remember his style. His style was distinct as well. He ran upright, and he ran like with high knees, like he was doing hurdles. And I think he ran hurdles in college. That's where he got that from. But he was really fast. Like when he broke away, he broke away. But solid career, Robert Smith, for the Minnesota Vikings. Next person on the list, Rod Woodson, 26. Let me say this. I love Deion Sanders. I'm a Seminole, so I have no hate at all for Deion. I love the guy. I think he's the best cornerback ever, the greatest, one of the GOATs of the NFL all time, like top of the top GOATs, Deion Sanders, in my book. But in doing my research for Rod Woodson, number 26, Pittsburgh Steelers, I wonder if we've been misled. Is Rod Woodson the GOAT cornerback? Is Rod Woodson better than Deion Sanders and we've just been believing a lie all this time, or what? And listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some defensive back guru. I know the ins and outs of cornerbacks, and some people will say, well, one guy can have a lot of picks and another guy won't have a lot of picks because, he shuts down the receivers and the quarterback won't even bother throwing to that side of the field, right? That's kind of like the Richard Sherman argument versus Darrelle Revis, right? The island. Picks versus, right, and that Asante Samuel actually came up back with that argument again, right? Picks versus shutting down your man. Whichever way you slice it, man, you got to give Rod Woodson his credit. 17 years, 10 in Pittsburgh. Then he went to San Francisco and Baltimore and Oakland. 11 Pro Bowls, 6-time All-Pro. The last time he made an All-Pro season was in his 16th year with Oakland as a free safety. He was versatile, played cornerback, left, right, and safety in his career. He was fast as hell. He tackled way more than Deion ever. Deion never wanted a tackle. For his career, he had 1,158 solo tackles. That's like almost double the amount of solo tackles Deion had in his career. Deion famously said, hey, I wasn't out here trying to tackle. Rod Woodson was tackling. Not only was he tackling, he was intercepting. He had 71 picks. 12 of them ran back for touchdowns. 18 more interceptions than Deion. 23 forced fumbles. 32 fumble recoveries. 4 more forced fumbles than Deion. 19 more fumble recoveries than Deion. That means, like, when you recover fumbles, that means you're getting your nose dirty. Because you're liable to get crushed in those piles. Get hurt. So I don't know, man. I don't know. First 12 seasons. Deion had 48 picks. Rod Woodson had 54 picks. He played in 14 games or more. 14 seasons. Durable as hell. So I ask you, and I'm going to ask it again. Is Deion the GOAT cornerback? Or have we been misled in believing a lie? See, groupthink happens, y'all. And again, I'm not saying Deion's not the GOAT. As of right now, I'm not a cornerback expert. I don't study cornerback tape. I don't know what really happens. I just know from a casual perspective. But Deion is the GOAT to me from a casual perspective. But Rod Woodson, looking at his stats and remembering his play, how great he was, like he wasn't just like out there, like he was a baller. He was legit. So I'm wondering, did groupthink come along and sweep us away and made us believe that Deion was the GOAT for real? Or is Rod Woodson really the GOAT of cornerbacks? I think that's a fair question to ask. And if somebody came and made the argument for either one, I won't have an argument, a counter against either one. And I don't think most fans can really counter the argument for or against Rod Woodson. They can't. But whenever we make lists of cornerbacks, the best ever, I don't know if people really bring up Rod Woodson as like a top 2-3 corner ever. Like we say Deion, we say Revis Island. Even now, some cats say Richard Sherman. Rod Woodson is up there with Deion Sanders to me. If he ain't one, he's two, looking at these stats. Like, I don't know anybody else close to this dude. This dude was legit. All-around player. Defensive back. Tackle. As a corner, he tackled. Not just when he went to safety. He tackled as a corner. And he intercepted the ball. Like, he did everything. And the numbers are better than Deion's. So the argument for Deion is going to be, well, cats didn't throw to me, man. I was shutting you down, and I remember that. Like, people didn't throw to Deion's way because they were scared if he caught it, he was gone. So I'll give him that. But I just wanted to point that out, man. Rod Woodson, great career, Hall of Famer, one of the best. Like, he's top of the top. He's up there in the upper room with the best of the best NFL players ever. So that's the list of former players that wore number 26. It's a pretty good group, actually. Shout out to Saquon, the current number 26 baller. Saquon Barkley, running back, Giants. If he can stay healthy, I think he'll be in the list, at the top of the list, as well as one of the best 26 ever in the NFL history. All right, y'all. Short and sweet. Number 26. Appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to catch y'all next time for number 25. My filming. Sports and the real shit. Peace.